Bitcoin remains to be pumping towards the upside, but on today's video, I will go more in depth about the exact reasons why this is happening. I will talk about the sentiment in the market right now. I will talk about the next patterns that are currently emerging, but also I will talk about some warning signals because we've got a massive CME gap trading below us right now. Funding rates are shooting through the roof and many more important stuff we need to discuss on today's update video. So yesterday we hit more than 800 likes on the update video. Can we once again do that on today's update video? That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term for Bitcoin. And we do know that Bitcoin has been going absolutely exponential, and that is of course due to the fact that the Bitcoin spot ETF is just days out and people are not really interested in selling their Bitcoins. But at the same time, we have seen this will address that currently is the 16th largest will out there. He has accumulated more than 20,000 Bitcoin in the past 3 to 6 months here, what is of course absolutely massive. And already today he bought more than 200 Bitcoin, and already yesterday he bought more than 1,000 Bitcoin all alone. So this is definitely a very interesting behavior what we can currently see. This will remains to be buying more and more, even though Bitcoin just hit 42,000 US dollars, and he's just probably convinced Bitcoin is going to go much higher. So on the imminent short term for Bitcoin, we are potentially creating a new pattern right here. You can clearly see that right now the top side looks to be becoming the next resistance for Bitcoin, and potentially we're creating this upper sloping support line. I don't really like the touch points yet because there are not a lot of touch points, but honestly it is holding up quite well, and that is a very good thing to see. The only bad thing to see right now here is that Bitcoin of course created this massive CME gap on the lower side. To be exact, the CME futures gap is sitting around 39.3k all the way up to 40.4k. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin necessarily has to go back here, because yeah, like everyone does know here on the channel, we also still got a CME gap sitting here around 9,000 US dollars, and that one also never got filled up. 95% of all the historic CME gaps, they tend to get filled up. That is the thing I want to be trying to say here. So Bitcoin is going of course absolutely exponential. It's forming higher lows after higher lows, and the lows are also more and more exponential. And since we're right now still in a parabolic rally, I want to be telling everyone out there to be very careful with trading Bitcoin. Why? Is because Bitcoin could either continue the parabolic rally towards the upside even furthermore, or it could either dump very hard. So it's very hard to say which direction we're exactly going to go towards. And yesterday and today as well, the funding rates remain to be actually quite overweight for Bitcoin, what means that the majority of the traders right now in the market are actually trading long instead of short. And before this period where Bitcoin was going exponential, we were seeing that the overweighted positions were going short the whole time. So everyone was basically trying to short the Bitcoin rallies, and that is currently not happening. So that is potentially a reason why I am a little bit worried about this current rally on Bitcoin, that we could potentially see the top being in here for at least the imminent short term. Still, we're going to see some more liquidity getting created on the top side, because if I'm looking also at the liquidation heat map, honestly, I am not gonna lie, the majority of the liquidity, if I'm going to be loading up even the 1 month right here, is definitely laying below us. And I don't want to be a bear or a game changer or a hater or whatsoever, but honestly, it is clearly telling us that the majority of the liquidity is laying below us, and that just brings a little bit more risk with longing Bitcoin right now. And honestly, I've said this as well in yesterday's video. I am spot long on Bitcoin. Only I want to be opening up a new leverage long position here on BYBIT, because my previous trade, I closed it out on 39.7k and I managed to cash out more than $20,000. But I want to be opening up a new trade, but I'm not going to do it right here. I'm going to be waiting for a potential retracement on Bitcoin, because these 20 to 30% retracements in these rallies are quite often normal. So I want to be seeing a small little retracement for Bitcoin before I'm going to be opening up my next trade. I'm not going to be doing it right here. I mean, a lot of people, of course, are super excited to be opening up trades on Bitcoin right now, but it just brings too much risk on the exact moment of time. So yeah, this Bitcoin rally as well looks absolutely exponential. And if you approach it from here, this Bitcoin rally looks absolutely exponential. We've talked about this consolidation phase for quite a while, and just after we broke outside of the consolidation range, we broke towards the upside. So, I mean, honestly, the technical analysis is still working. It's still playing out exactly like we've been predicting. But honestly, right now, we need to be waiting a little bit here before I can confirm my next move. Because what I want to be doing here is, of course, say my next move in a good way. And if I'm going to be opening up a new trade, I want everyone to win once again. So in order for me to call a good trade, I just need some time in the market to see clearly what Bitcoin is going to be doing here. Because right now, I don't have a lot of data points about what to exactly say about this exact move here towards the upside. So of course, I do remain that Bitcoin is going to be strong in the coming 30 days due to the fact that the Bitcoin spot ETF is about to get accepted. So I do still think that the trend is overly going to be bullish. So I'm going to be looking at long positions only potentially if we get a small move towards the downside. That would give us a very good entry in the market, right? So that is what I'm going to be looking at right now here. So if you want to be trading yourself, make sure to go to the link description of today's video where you can claim a deposit bonus up to $40,000. And without this link, it's only $400. So it's a win-win situation. And on top of that, guys, if you sign up a new account using that link below, you could claim a free $1,000 airdrop position even on top of that. And all you need to do for this is, of course, sign up an account using that link below, complete KYC, and you have to deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and you could be claiming this insane $1,000 position. So make sure to go to the link description of today's video where you could be claiming it. But if you can't use BYBIT or you can't KYC on BYBIT, make sure to go to Fimex, because Fimex is my second favorite exchange where you can trade without KYC, without any restrictions. And it's basically exactly the same as BYBIT, only it's got some different branding on it. So definitely very good exchange also to check it out. And of course, and if you also want to be claiming deposit bonus for Fimex, make sure to, of course, sign up using that link below on today's update video. Further on, honestly, if we're looking at the last Bitcoin all-time high, the last time it came, it happened very quickly. And right now we're also in such a stage, it could be happening very quickly, right? Honestly, the last time it happened, Bitcoin went also exponential. We consolidated a few days below all-time high and then we crashed through it. And right now, if you compare these charts towards each other, it looks really like we're in that exponential phase in the market, right? So things are moving very quickly, and usually once Bitcoin all-time highs come, they come very fast. Once again, I am here only to point out the facts. Bitcoin currently is creating lower highs on the RSI, while in fact the price action is forming higher lows. So Bitcoin is currently still creating a bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. Do I really worry about this bearish divergence? No, I don't worry about it, but I do want to be pointing it out, and I do want to be aware it's exactly playing out right now. Why am I a little bit less worried about this Bitcoin bearish divergence? It's because right now the sentiment is completely different, with the Bitcoin spot ETF only being like 30 days out before acceptance, and that is why the market is also moving so strongly towards the upside, and there is really reduced sell pressure. People are not really interested in selling a Bitcoin days before the Bitcoin spot ETF gets accepted. Potentially not be so strong as it usually is, but I still want to be pointing out it is currently getting created. So momentum is really getting diverged, and that is of course always important to be paying attention to. Honestly, the next big resistance target is going to be 43.2k. Of course, Bitcoin is currently creating 8 weekly green candles in a row. And if I'm saying this correctly, I don't really think that Bitcoin has ever done this. And the last time it has done it was 2012. 8 weekly candles in a green in a row. Bitcoin is doing it right now. The last time we did 7 was of course back in the beginning of the bull market. And right now we already confirmed 7, and we're even potentially going to create the 8th weekly green candle in a row for Bitcoin. So looking forward towards that, is how that is going to be playing out. But honestly, I'm super excited about the stage where we're currently in the market. Honestly, if we're going to see a correction, it's going to be only buying for me. I am still buying more and more on my spot wallets. I'm accumulating. I'm getting myself ready for the next bull run. I think my targets are between 120 and 160,000 US dollars for the next Bitcoin bull run cycle. That is the targets where I will be really starting to be cashing out my Bitcoin. But Bitcoin currently, yeah, it had this bullish crossover on the EMA ribbon. And basically the last time it also did this was indicating the beginning of the next bull run and the beginning of the next cycle. And I really think that we're also right now in that next cycle stage of Bitcoin. So this was it for me in today's update video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.